So, have you ever noticed when you're deep in the hustle that every day sort of blurs into one? You know, like forever Groundhog's Day. You know, those mornings where you're already stressed out before your feet even hit the floor? Where you're like slugging a giant cup of coffee or a pot. No one's judging. And then it's right to the iPhone, you know, and the messages and the emails and the commute and then work. And then poof, your whole day's gone. I lived that for years in the city. I'm no stranger to the hustle. That traffic, noise, rushing around like a crazy person, and then hiding inside on the days I didn't have to work. You know, it all just got to be too much. And the only time I felt like I could really take a deep breath was at the park. So I knew I needed to be in nature. So I left the city and I landed in this really beautiful place in the middle of nowhere. Like literally, I have cows for neighbors. And here's the thing. I brought the rush with me. It's not like there's an off switch. That hustle is such a part of me, even if I didn't like it. And even though life is much slower here, I found ways to fill my days. And I feel like this was really ingrained in me as a kid. Like there was always this hurry up, let's go, rush, rush, rush. Get it done, but get it done quickly. Yeah, so I always felt like I was in this rush or this hustle. And I guess that's how I survived the city, so it served its purpose. But I slowly started to realize that this is actually not my true energy. I learned this actually through pain. And it's usually because I'm forcing something, right? Or pushing past my own body's limitations. I was used to living in the mind and letting it be the decision maker. And I would miss the subtle cues. So, of course, then the whisper becomes a shout. But because of my busyness, I really didn't allow enough space to really decompress. So I was once again on the receiving end of that shout. I really, really wanted to slow down, but I started feeling pressure to produce. It's kind of like that idea that I have to make something happen. I can't just sit here, even if I needed to rest. No, I don't have time for that. Must keep going. So one day on a nature walk, I was having a rough day and I was in a lot of pain. And I remember feeling completely directionless. I felt a little like, what the heck happened in my life? I was doubting the decision I made to leave Chicago. I was thinking maybe my timing was off. And I was arguing with myself on how it could have maybe been some other way. You know, I never really regret anything, so this was definitely a moment of weakness. And the irony was that I felt I was in more of a hustle now than I was before I left the city. Because I was starting over. I was full on bawling and I just threw my arms up and I yelled at the universe, I've changed everything. Haven't I proved myself enough? I'm tired of suffering. And through the tears, moments later, a little plant caught my eye. All glistening in the sun like a little diamond on a stick. A wild carrot or a Queen Anne's lace. And later I actually found out that this plant symbolically means sanctuary. And it helps us to see a bigger picture. Which is crazy, because I could hear it actually say to me, we are here and our roots go deep into the earth. We do not do. We sway as the wind blows, and we are visited by the bees that pollinate us. We always have everything we need. When it rains, the nutrients come to our roots. We don't have to chase or rush. We always have everything we need. How would you be any different than us? And at that moment, it actually widened my perspective. Yeah, how are we less supported than plants, the trees, the birds, or even the bees? How did I get to this place where I felt that the only way to survive is to push? How can I allow ease to thrive? I know that this is part of our culture and the agreements we made to play the earth game, right? To strive and hustle to succeed, and often just to survive. And I am willing to right now assume my body has an intelligence I couldn't possibly understand. The way that it communicates to me, mostly through yelling, of course. But it's always when I have forgotten how to slow down and I'm operating from the mind. So it pumps the brakes for me. Kind of like the driver's ed teacher with the passenger brake. Whoa there, kid. So then I'll assume that there must be another way. And if that is true, that we always have choices, then I could choose to create, to produce, or create from a space with more aliveness and breath. I understand now why they say nature is healing. I can feel how I recalibrate on my walks, how the smells of the earth awaken something in me, like an old memory. The child in me comes alive in awe. And each time I walk the same path, it always looks different. And then the seasons. There's something so sacred here. And the reminder to slow down and move with the earth. There's a deeper connection I have felt to myself and to my body that I have not felt in years. I really believe our disconnection from the earth, her nature, is a huge reason why we've become disconnected from our own nature. Like from who we really are. Human beings. The hustle that has been so programmed in the collective feels like a tool used to alter our natural flow enough to keep us tired and exhausted and chained to the system. The hustle is celebrated and the burnout is even rewarded, often with just a slap on the back. It's okay. If you work harder next time, you'll be better. And what would it then look like to move into ease and yet still thrive? So, thank you so much for listening to this and for being a part of this whole conversation. And if this resonated with you, please like and subscribe, and then let me know, what is it for you that brings you back to your true nature? Until next time.